Again, not enough time has passed yet for us to know exactly why what happened on Tuesday night happened and why Republicans did not win in the way that they kept forecasting they would, particularly Republicans kept forecasting. But here's a theory that explains a bunch of it. As I said before, the domestic policy agenda of the Biden administration of the Democrats is popular, and the Republican Party actually had nothing to offer voters. A guest essay in the New York Times from a conservative summarized it like this, quote, in an era when national politics exerts a strong gravitational pull in local elections, the most important question is what sort of national vision did the Republican Party offer working Americans in 2022? It's hard to say, really. The best I can come up with is something like hand us the keys to government, but don't expect us to give you anything in return. And in that indifference lies a central problem, bedeviling Republicans up and down the ballot. Joining me now is Senator Cory Booker, a Democrat in New Jersey, who said ahead of Tuesday's election the Democrats had a very strong pathway to add seats in the Senate. Senator, it's good to have you on. How conscious were you and your colleagues of the level of popularity on the votes you were taking from the American Rescue Plan, the infrastructure bill, CHIPS, and then the Inflation Reduction Act, whether that was heading into the headwinds of public opinion or had it behind you?
You know, the leadership circle I sat in with Chuck Schumer and other Democrats, ranging from Joe Manchin all the way to friends of mine on the left in our caucus, all of us knew that the agenda we should set, the policy program we should set should be the one that working class Americans will really appreciate. And that's why we were excited and we're able to get the votes to cap insulin costs, to get the votes to pass an infrastructure bill and put a heavy emphasis on union jobs, and get the votes to do things. Even in as much as people said we had conflict in the Democratic caucus, we passed the American Recovery Act that had everything in it from an expansion of the child tax credit all the way to helping with eviction moratoriums. So it was easy to go to voters in this election, and I campaigned in 12 states, and show the receipts. In a bad economy, who do you want representing you? The people that are going to watch out for everything from the rent you have to pay to the small business rescue to protecting Social Security, Medicare, lowering prescription drug costs? Or the party, the last time they were in power, their biggest signature policy issue was a massive tax cut, overwhelmingly that went to the wealthiest Americans and the wealthiest corporations who just didn't need it. And it was an easy case to make.
I think sometimes I'm tempted by this very nihilistic streak that none of this substance stuff matters and voters don't really pay attention and it's all just vibes or it's all just culture war. It's all just, what they see in the local news. And I got to say, I feel like the results this week cut against that a little bit. Like, it does seem like it did turn out that it did matter a bit.
Yeah, it definitely mattered to working people who had a lot of real fears in this economy. And the best they were being offered, I had a conversation with a bunch of folk of all places in a barber shop when I challenged them, what's the Republican agenda? If they take control of the House, what are they going to do? And the conclusion was, well, their agenda is just to go after Joe Biden. It's just to launch, investigation. They didn't have an economic plan. And then you double down and add to the fact two other things. One is there was a massive overreach, as we saw in Kansas, with trying to take away a woman's right to control her body, even under the conditions of rape and incest. That insulted voters and sent a lot to the polls. And then the second thing, I don't think we can underplay how much the bombastic rhetoric around our democracy was really aggravating and scaring people. To have a Wisconsin gubernatorial candidate say, if I win, Republicans will never lose again in Wisconsin. That's crazy. I was sent by Mark Kelly out to a Republican fundraiser. The Republicans doing a fundraiser for Mark Kelly. And the conversation really was common sense, pragmatic, and the fact that this far right swing of the sort of MAGA extremists was alienating centrist Republicans themselves and leaving them with nowhere to go but to candidates that were appealing to them, people like Mark Kelly, Catherine Cortez Masto, and even, frankly, someone like Raphael Warnock.
Yeah, I think the data shows that there were enough ticket splitters, enough Republicans voting for Democrats to make the difference. And again, these are really narrow races, right? We're talking a point or two. It's one or two people out of a room of 100 you can get over to the other side can be the difference. And it looks like in a lot of places that was the case. Senator Cory Booker, who has been out on the campaign trail, thank you for making a little time for us tonight.
Thank you. Always be good to be with you, Chris. Thank you.
All right.